Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be using my NATASHA DENONA Retro Glam palette. This is a palette that I wanted to dedicate a video to and actually do maybe like 3 looks using these shades. So we're gonna do that today. But before we get into it, if you're new here, I would love for you to join my channel. Also hit that notification bell so you'll know when I put out a new video. And let's go ahead and get started with me applying this beautiful Retro Glam palette. Today I am filming with natural light. I tried to darken it a little bit because it was way too bright. The sun is actually behind the clouds. It's very cloudy today. So I'm hoping that these shadows will like show up on my eyelids. Let me get some eye primer. I forgot the eye primer. So I grabbed my Jaclyn Hill eye primer. I was using the Halsey eye primer and it was very mattifying, but it started to dry my eyelids out. So that was not a good thing. So that's why I've literally gone back to my Jaclyn Hill primer. And we're just gonna go ahead and play with this palette today. This NATASHA DENONA palette is fairly new to her line. I actually got the palette during the Sephora sale. It has 15 shades in the palette and these are the shades here. Now, I didn't think I was gonna wear some of these shades, but I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I do because, you know, these shades are just not your typical shades for like the fall, but I've worn a bunch of these colors like throughout the week and I'm really liking this palette. So it does come with a mirror and it has like that kind of plastic packaging. Of course, it has like the perforated backing so that if you wanted to pop out a shadow and add a shadow, you could. Let me go ahead and put this primer on and I'm going to put it on both eyes. Filming has been such a challenge for me, guys, because of my new job. I just don't have as much time as I used to, but I still like to film, so that's why I continue to do it, as I enjoy it and it makes me very like relaxed. I feel less stressed when I'm on here, and so this is something that just kind of gives me peace. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use this brush here. This one is an E23 by ColourPop, and I'm just going to start with one eye look here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do another eye look here, and then we're gonna do the third eye look, which is gonna finish off the looks for today. So I think what I wanna do is I'm gonna do a green eye look here. I'm gonna go into this shade Lucy, and Lucy is kind of like a beige shade, so I like to put it in the crease. It's a nice transition shade for like the entire palette. And I haven't really found when I use this palette that it has a lot of fallout. I feel like everything pretty much adheres to the eyelid, so that's nice. Okay, so you see it's kind of like a cool toned beige. We're gonna go into Fringe right here. And this is kind of a sea green shade. I'm just gonna put that in the crease. I'm trying to look to make sure that the shades are true to color right here in my little screen. Isn't that pretty? I just love like this like on its own. It's just so pretty. We're gonna go into this shade right here called Oz. I'm still using the same brush. I don't really need to switch brushes right now, so I just tap that on the outer corner. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. This is another shade that you could actually use like all over the lid and call it a day because it's just got that really beautiful sheen to it. Bringing it into the center, but not all the way over. Now I'm going to switch my brush and I'm going to go with the Sigma. This is an E55, and then I'm gonna go into a lighter shade because I want to kind of lighten it up. And I'm gonna go into this shade called, I think it's called Palladian, but it's this shade right here. Very shimmery green, and a little goes a long way, guys. These are really pigmented, super easy to blend. Then we're gonna finish off this eye look. So I'm going back into this brush here, and I'm gonna go into the shade Evergreen. That's this one right here. So I'm gonna deepen it up. And I'm just going to deepen up just the outer corner. I'm not going to take away from that other shade called Oz because I want you to be able to see that. And then we'll just blend. You want to make sure that everything is like blending in together. I'm really liking that eye look right there. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do another eye look on this eye. And I think what we're gonna do with this eye here today is I'm gonna use some of the darker smoky shadows. So like this one, even this one here. So I'm gonna go in with this. This is a Morphe M433 brush. It's a nice blending brush. And since we're gonna do more of a smoky eye, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go into Faye. So I'm gonna use that as like a transition shade. This one is a little bit darker than the one I used before, which is Lucy, but yeah, it's still very gorgeous on the eye. And now we're gonna go into this shade right here. That one is called Maxi. Maxi looks like a kind of pewter shade, and we're just gonna take the same brush and we're going to do the same technique. We're just gonna come to the center of the lid. Now, if you use a little bit denser brush, you're gonna get a lot more pigment payoff. This brush will still give me color payoff. I just have to go in a little bit more so than I would if I had like a flat brush, a brush that's a little bit more compacted. I come in the crease a little bit with this one and I just blend it into that transition shade. Lately here, guys, I have like this dry spot right here on my eyelid, and I don't know if it's because of that Halsey brand of primer. Just dried my eyes out. I cleaned off the Sigma brush and I'm going to go in with a lighter shade. I'm actually going to go into Oscar, which is this shade right here, and then I'm going to run this on my lid. It's a very beautiful shimmer shade, but it's more of like a taupe shimmer shade, a light taupe. Okay, so now that we have that on, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop brush again, and I'm actually going to go into this deep shade here called Jazzy. And Jazzy looks like a kind of like a brown shade, and I'm just going to deepen up the edge with this shade. And then what I like to do is I like to take a clean brush and I like to go over the edge just to smooth it all out. And those are the two eye looks. So I have this green eye look, and then I have this really beautiful like smoky eye look. You can use this like pretty much any time of the year. I just think this is a very versatile palette. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eye makeup remover and some Q-tips, and I'm going to take this off, and we're going to finish off this look with like more of these shades right here, like the pink shades. It's this one here, and then this pink shade here. So yeah, we're going to finish off the look using those shades, make it more of like a very beautiful like mauvey pinky look. So let me go ahead and take this off, and so what I did was I went ahead and put on my eye primer so that I can go ahead and get started with the final look. So I'm going to go in with this pink shade right here called Holly, and I'm going to use that in my crease. And I'm using this Sonia G, this is a Crease Pro brush. I'm just going to place that in my crease and just blend it out. Do it to the other eye. It's a really pretty pink shade. Okay. So now that I've got that down, I'm going to go in a little bit deeper with this shade right here. It's called Belle, and I'm just going to use that same brush, and I'm just going to put this on the outer corner, but I'm also going to bring it into the crease to deepen up the crease. Going to go a little bit deeper than that other pink shade. Do the same to this eye. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with this shade right here. That one's called Flare. I'm just going to use that same brush, and like I said, I'm just going to add it to the outer corner. So I'm not going into the crease with this, I'm just kind of pressing it into the outer corner and going into the center of my lid, not all the way across, just in the center. You'll see that I kind of do the same technique with most of my shadows when I'm doing shadow. I just like blending it to where I have like a little bit of emphasis on the outer corner and then a little bit of a lighter tone on the inner corner. I always do that unless I'm doing like a halo eye or I'm just doing like one shadow all over. For the most part, when I use several shadows, I just pretty much do the same technique because I just like the way it looks. Okay, so that is what that looks like right now. Really beautiful. We are going to blend out the edges here in a minute. I'm going to go into this shade called Flutter because I pulled the other shadow a little bit more to the center. Flutter is just going to go right here on the inner corner. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to just place a little bit here. Now Flutter is very glittery. It's still a beautiful kind of like champagne gold shade. And like I said, it's just going to go right here. It's just right there in that little corner of my eye. And I'm just pressing it on with this brush. I'm not actually moving it around too much because it does have a lot of glitter in it, but not chunky glitter. It's just really pretty and sparkly. So that is how that is gonna look. Now, what I will do, I'm gonna take that brush and I'm just gonna blend the edges because because I don't want it to look too choppy. So I'm just blending. And then I'm going to take a clean brush. I'm going to blend the edge here. And then I want to deepen it up a little bit. So I'm just going to take the brush that I just blended with. And I want to deepen up that corner. So I think what I might do is go back into, I think I'm going to go into Maxi. I think Maxi is going to be perfect with this eyeshadow look, just to kind of deepen up that outer corner. I think it's just going to go perfect. Like I said, I just put it on the outer corner. I'm just going to blend this out with this brush that I have. Blend the edges out. Kind of blend everything together. I blended out the eyeshadow. I love this look. It's a very beautiful like mauve tone look. You can wear this pretty much like throughout the year. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and put some blush on. I'm going to put some lipstick on, and then I'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more about this palette. Okay guys, let's go ahead and talk about this palette. If you want to know what I have on my cheeks, I actually have this Pat McGrath's Divine Blush and Glow Cheek Palette in Nude Venus. I used these two shades here. So I just kind of blended my brush in there, put it on my cheeks. I use the Makeup Forever Walnut pencil. It's a lip pencil. And then I use my MAC lipstick, and it's matte. It's a really beautiful, kind of like a pinky nude shade. So I use that on my lips. So I wanted to tell you guys what I actually used on my face. So yeah, let's talk about the palette. Love this palette. Told you guys I used it before. I'm so happy with the outcome of this palette because I really honestly thought that I wasn't really gonna like it, and I ended up loving it. I hope you guys liked the looks that I created today on my eyelids. I really loved like every look that I did. I especially love the one that was more like smoky. I love that one, but I also love the gray one too. So anyway, I like them all. But yeah, this is such a great palette, guys, and the consistency of these shadows are amazing. They go on really easy. They're so easy to blend, not a lot of fallout. They just give some really good pigmentation. And like I said, if you use a fluffy brush with some of these, all you have to do is build up the color, or you can go in with a flat brush and just kind of pack the color on. Either way, you're gonna get a beautiful look. So I think the palette is originally $65. Let me look it up to make sure. The original price of this palette is $69, but of course I paid 20% off of that during the sale. And I really feel like I got a good deal because that's like almost what, $13 off, and you're getting a full 15 shades in the palette. So I really feel like it's a good deal. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this palette. It's a really good palette. This creates like really beautiful looks for the entire year. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and also leave in the comments below if you guys are interested in this palette, if you bought this palette, if you like these shadows, if you didn't like the shadows. I want to know your thoughts as well. So anyway, thanks again, take care, and we'll see you guys on the next one.